Hi, I'm Julian, and this is Team 24's submission for the ES50 Spring 2021 final project. So our project was to create a sous vide cooker slash isothermal bath. They're essentially the same thing. They just maintain a bath of water at a particular temperature of your choosing. That can be used to culture cells, in which case it's normally referred to as an isothermal bath, or it can be used for cooking, in which case you would put the food in a sealed plastic bag and you would let it sit in that water until it came into thermal equilibrium all the way through. And then you would take it out, you might sear it lightly, and then you would have really nice, evenly cooked food. And we did make some really delicious steaks, which you're going to see in a second here. But what makes this project so cool is not the particular application, it is actually the adaptability. Because there are tons of applications where controlling the temperature of something is super useful. Examples include reflow soldering. I've actually used it for that already. You could control I used a hot plate to reflow solder, but you could also control a toaster oven. If you wanted, you could even have a temperature curve, which would allow you to reflow like really sensitive parts. You could cool your beer cave by controlling an air conditioning unit with it. Really, the sky's the limit. Anything where you need to control temperature precisely. And what makes it so adaptable is that, one, it uses IR sensors or an IR sensor to measure the temperature of the target, which means you don't need contact with the target. It means you can have like a corrosive target or a target that's so hot it would melt a normal sensor, or any other, you don't need physical access to the target. That makes it much easier. And then the second feature that makes it super adaptable is the IoT relay that we used, which is essentially a power strip that can be controlled by an Arduino. That means that anything you can plug into that power strip, you can control with an Arduino, as long as it's something that automatically turns on when you apply power, which you can modify a lot of things that aren't supposed to do that if you need to. But what that means is that if you want to control the temperature, if you want to keep some food warm at a party one day, then you can just take a heat lamp, plug it into the IoT relay, point the sensor at the food, and set the temperature that you want it to be at, and you're good to go. You've got a working controller for a completely new situation in 10 minutes. And that pretty much applies to most of the different things you could use this for. But the steaks that we made with it were also like really, really delicious, and I'm sure that you're excited to see this demo. So now I'm going to roll into that so you can see what it's all about.
Okay, it's time for a demo. So we've got the water preheated to 54 degrees Celsius, which is our set point. We have the Arduino doing its thing, and we have the graph right here. You see it's like at thermal equilibrium at 54. And then we have this fan that just blows any steam, like condensed steam, out from in front of the sensor to prevent it from messing up the sensor data too much. And right here we have some flank steak with carne asada marinade. We're making carne asada tacos, so I'm going to drop this in right now, and I'll check back with you in 45 minutes when it's done. Alright, here's what we got. Take a look at that. Beautiful medium rare all the way through. So I'm going to throw this in a pan and sear it for a few seconds on each side, and we'll take a look at it after I'm done with that. Alright, so a quick sear on both sides, and this is what we get. Beautiful.